Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of City Skyline here in Foolstown. Last episode guys, we added in that brand new shopping district, which we had quite a lot of traffic issues, but we managed to get them solved. It was beautiful. It kind of just extends just off our whole industry district there, ready to add in some residential up and around it, which is pretty cool. But today I want to focus on getting back in our farming area. We recently got rid of it so we could revamp it and change it. And we created a whole highway based on accessing the industry area, which we want to relocate the farm towards. So hopefully the traffic will then start to use the big highway that we added in. If they don't, we're in some serious trouble, but there's no reason why they wouldn't, because that is the quickest route straight to downtown all the way to the dock area, the export area. So we got a lot of things that we want to work with then. So this is kind of what we got set up in the last episode anyway. All this added in. The only thing I'm not 100% happy with, all the traffic flows beautifully all over the place. I mean, we have some huge traffic flows going there, but it's all moving. It's not stopping. It's constantly moving. The only thing I'm not happy about is this section here, this interchange coming off the highway. It could be improved, and I'll probably do that at some point in the future, but that's the only thing I'm not happy with. I like how the road flows over. I upgraded that little road to a 2-lane one. I like how the road flows over there. It's got good flows, and I really do like it. And again, we've got this highway that tears through the whole city, up to here, all the way around here, all the way down to the industrial area, which at the moment, it's only really the oil industry taking advantage of it. You might get the odd 1 or 2 trucks that come down to the industry down here, but I'm not sure whether I would want to create a road, little kind of cut off from it to hook up to the back of this side. It might be a good idea to try to get these guys hooked up onto this highway system. The more you can get them off this, the better. We'll see. But today I want to focus on this area. The farming district was here, and the reason it failed so much is because it was on such a huge gradient. Now we've got this huge area here. So let's open this up. Let's buy this plot of land. Boom. Which should be enough. I don't need to buy any other ones, I don't think. We should be able to get away with that. The road's going to come around and bend through and land. The only thing I need to do is make sure it's not flat, but as flat as we can almost get it. So we're going to smoothen it all off with a large brush size. Because the flatter we can get the land, the easier it's going to be for us to work with the farming area. So we want to get this as flat as possible. Smoothing it is a good way to do it. But another easy way to do it is just literally complete. What's the difference in heights? 305 to... Wow, okay, the difference in heights is quite dramatic. So if I kind of use this and flatten it out this way, seems quite, excessive. But then we just use the smooth it tool to smooth it off. So the edge of this mountain here is what we could potentially use to have the highway continue to run through, because we could connect it up to another point further on. Now it looks quite like a huge valley, so I only want to focus on setting the farm up. All the areas around it will kind of do eventually. So this highway will bend round, and it could follow the line of the kind of cliff or the mountain edge, which will then probably either bring it round to connect down to here as a full-on looped connection. It's probably something we'll do. We'll probably eventually get rid of that and move it somewhere else. But as of right now, this is kind of how we're going to be playing with it. So I just want to smooth these off a little bit more. Let's go for a little bigger brush size so we can work with a larger area. So smooth these off as much as possible. It takes a little bit longer now because of how much of the game we have to process. But if we can smooth off all these areas, then it's going to be glorious. The flatter the farmland, the better for us. Okay. Right, that's pretty good. Look, you can't really tell how flat it is now. It just looks more and more natural. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So we want to kind of first set up a district for this area. So we want this to be the paint industry area. Nice and big. The Willow Industrial Estate. I don't think it wants to be called that. Let me see what better names it can come up with than apart from that. Hamilton Land. Oh, the Hamilton Farm. That sounds like a good name, doesn't it? It sounds like a solid, strong farmer's name, Hamilton, whose family's been there for generations farming the land. That could be pretty good. I like that name. I like that name. Okay, so we need to work with how the roads are going to fall into play with this. So this highway is going to eventually just bend round anyway, like normal. We kind of want to go... Should we go for the industry road to play around with? So we're going to figure out where it's going to come from. So that bends around like normal. So it bends around here and then goes up and around. So what we could do is have it linked up to the road connection there. And then we have the highway go over that road, and that's what will create ultimately that connection. So, okay, right, let's have this come down to here. So that will ultimately be the road that brings us into the farmland area. And then our highway will go over it to create the highway connection that they potentially, hopefully, will use to get down to that area. There's no other way. I don't think that they'll probably take as a shorter route. So we have to make sure we do it fairly smartly. Right, there's no traffic on this road anyway, which is a good sign. So we can really, you know, the good export, that's really died down now. Now we got the highway in. This airport's really died down. It's crazy. Okay, let's get this all set up then. So we want this road to be the main road they use in this area. So we bring that fairly up there, and we can make it go in one of two like kind of directions. So it's gonna be the main road they come in, and there's 3 stages of which we do the farming. Obviously there's the harvesting, then there's the storing, and then there's the processing. So at this point, this is what makes me think that we might need a secondary connection to the highway system. So we're gonna create a road coming off this and pretty much locking down to about there, and this can also go up, and we'll create a bend on this as it cuts through the valley. So let's do a large chunk off it so we can create that bend on it. So bring that down to there, bend it down, nice, and then we'll create everything off these roads, which should be pretty good. So yeah, it looks like we're going to need to have another connection. So we can start the farming up here as it comes down. We can have the storage over here and then the processing on this side. So they might come on the highway, get off at this point to go do the farming, come down, and then when they do the processing, it trickles back onto it and off they go again. So I might even want a third connection, to be honest. That's how much you want to connect this. But then again, this whole area functions just perfectly with that one connection. So we could have the same, we could go for the same thing anyway. So I could just be pretty much getting ahead of myself. So with the 2 lanes roads right now, it's a good surface area right now we've got for the farming. So let's pick a few little spots then that we can start to create these farms. So bringing this up, and we'll take it up to about there. I don't know if I want to do the grid format, the old-fashioned grid format, or we do 2, like a gap of 2. So bring that out by 2 and then down, and then we're staggering it. Bring it out by 2 and then down. So the reason we stagger it is so I can pull this up there by 1, and that one. There we go. So we stagger it like that to create the effect, so we can filter it all in. Then we'll do the same. So it won't be as high on this side. So we'll probably go up to about here. And then bring it down by 2 and in. Down by 2 and in. Because this is where the mountain... Oh, do you know what? We can actually reverse it. And there we go. And that should be pretty cool. So we're going to go that grid pattern there. I don't want to use the dirt roads to like what I did last time, because that really, you then really do start to lose the functionality of the place. So by 2 and cut in. And we're gonna go back up again. So by 2. And is that straight? Yeah. And in. And then we'll go up 2 here. We'll go across by 2. And bring that straight down. Beautiful. So by 2, straight down. glorious. So this is where you can now see that the area is starting to go into the hills a bit. And that's what you get. Like, if you've ever flown an aeroplane and you've gone over like a farming area, you notice that like in a valley, it's like they're all farming, and as soon as it gets to the hills, the farming land stops. It's really cool to see that. So that should work there. Now I'm thinking we need to create, so we've got this solid road coming down, but there will be a lot of traffic on it. So we need to create, again, that also another solid road coming down. So we'll use this one. So we're creating that secondary solid lane system. And let's see how much I can bend this out by, because I want it to connect down. Same for this one. So if we bring that to there and connect in. So we're creating those connections to this road, and it's going to let it flow all naturally. That's pretty much what we're going to do. So that can continue to come down as well. And we won't connect it down here, because that's going to go up to the highway or to those roads. So we'll have it all solidly connected over here, where we have some storage on this side and the production buildings on that side. So let's actually look at getting the roads properly in. So, you know what we'll do? We'll do a one-way road. Yeah, actually, I will connect this up. I got an idea for it. So, to here. There we go. But we reverse it into being a one-way road in. Well, actually, no, because they'll use that as the inload. Okay, what we'll do, we'll just come off this here, because I want to create the worker area. So I'll bring that down here. By 2. Let's create a generic road pattern off it. There we go. And this is where we place down the farming stuff now then. So let's go to the industries. The farming. And we need the main farming building, which we'll place just here. We'll place down now some worker farm barracks, which I didn't realize they're that big. We've got some maintenance buildings as well. So what we could also do as well, we could place down some like generic farming too. So a couple of maintenance buildings there. One there, one there. We'll get some worker barracks down now. Are they called worker barracks? Yes. So one there, one there, one there, one there. So we'll put these on each of the the end sections. There we go. So we can have quite a few workers in this area. It's more spread out like a farm area. It looks really good. I'm not going to overpopulate it as well. I want it to look like that. Like dotted every so often. It would look pretty cool, wouldn't it? Okay. So I think then it's going well. I think we should then think about the highway, because this is really going to dictate how I then do the final end of it. So let's get this area set up then. The brush size is huge. So bring it to here. So pick it up at here. And have this mountain get pushed around. We'll have to bend the highway road a bit more. So bend it coming round. But it's pretty much going to cut through the mountain beautifully. And then how steep is that? Looks good. And then it starts to come round here. So we can actually cut that in a bit more as it bends round. And this is where then it starts to kind of almost level out. Not too much. We have to bring the brush size down. To here. And that's when we'll bridge it up and make it go over and then do a simple connection there. But we're going to want one here too, in some way, shape or form. And again, how we do this one, I'm not 100% on how this one's going to work. But we'll definitely try something then. So let's get the road. And we're using this one here. So I want it... It's such a high area. I don't know. Unless we just keep it to this area. Unless we just keep it there. I don't know. Right, we'll use that. We'll bend the highway round now anyway. So we have to delete this chunk of it. So, right. What's the best method for me to do this? So probably do it in stages, right? Like we do it like this to here. No. Well, I've got the method anyway. So to there. We then connect it straight down here. So each of these connections is going to have a bend on it. And then pretty much to there. And then this is where the fun begins. With the bridging up and down. Okay. So let's see if we can create these nice little bends on these then. To there. There we go. Beautiful. And then this is going to be the difficult one because the amount of bend that we've got to place onto this. So we might have to do this in 2 stages here. So then, like, 1. Let me take the free snapping off there. So 1 like that. Put the snapping back on. To create 1 like that. Why am I not seeing the snapping grid now? Oh, there we go. It's just this one here now, isn't it? Right, if I can delete that now, because we've got that bend on. That's kind of what we're leading up to, isn't it? Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? Right, that works as it bends round. It does work. We'll have to tidy up some of the terraforming on it, but it works to a certain degree. So let's do a bigger brush size. So if I oh, it's too far. I was smoothing it out, but it doesn't stick out far enough. The edge of it needs to stick out far enough. Because you don't want the highway being on literally on the edge of a cliff. As cool as that sounds, it's a very dangerous road. That would make it a very dangerous road. So what I could do, I could just smoothen the brush size here. The bottom of these hills a bit more. And it doesn't do too much damage to the top of it. There we go. Looks a bit better. It looks more natural, like it's been carved out of the hills. Which looks pretty sweet, doesn't it? Bends around nicely. Good stuff. So there is small things I would want to do, like how it does that bend. It doesn't look natural, but I don't want to focus on that too much just yet. Let's create this connection over here. So getting the land, because we need to make sure that we're also okay, it dents in there. Which it would do because we point it to a certain level. So if it dents in there, is that going to be high enough? That's the question. Suppose we'll find out now, right, won't we? Right, roads. I'm having this go straight over. How high is that? It's high enough. It is high enough, but I didn't realize how actually high it was here. So if we bring that to there. And is that snapping on? Like that. But they're at 2 different levels. So let's bring that one up. There we go. And let's connect these bad boys up. So with the magic of the move it tool, because the magic is heavily needed right now. There we go, just push it back a bit. Just to get those correct bends. And let it continue. So it's not really going to go anywhere at all just the moment. So it can end there for now. But I just want to create the little cut-off road. So just like how we did over here, there's nothing fancy about this at all. That's literally how it's going to work. And we don't need to do the one side for now. So we could literally pull them off at this point. Like that. And then we have to make the land a bit thicker. Just there. So over here. Bring it back on. So let's see if we can get rid of the snapping. Like that. Oh, this could work. This could be beautiful. Right, we'll bring it up this way. I'll reverse it after. Let's see what we can do. Like that. Yeah, we'll just play around with the sizes. That's so much more natural. And then we're smoothing it all off and stuff. We just got to flip the road back around. And then this has got a little weird kink in it. A weird bend. But that works beautifully. Right, let's get the terraform in there. Smoothing this off. And there we go. Straight up to that connection. Perfect. So hopefully this is going to be used. The only feeling I have is they might not use this highway going round if the connection's just there. Because they might feel like, oh, it's quicker to go down here, down here, down here, through there, cutting through to get over to, you know, this side. Which is not an issue. It's not an issue at all. It's just what I'm trying to avoid them doing. That's the whole reason for this. Which is why I'm thinking we have this, you know, farming area there. And then when they get the output stuff, the road bends up to hook up to this something here, which could be good. But we'll get onto that just a little bit later. We'll see how it flows first. We just need to build the farm, don't we? Okay, with that said then, let's go to this road. We will have this connected. I just thought of a way we could potentially probably do it. So, because that is such a high road, that really is a high road. We'll have to do, I'm going to buy this plot here. So quickly buy that. And then it gets a little bit lower, the land does here. So if I could just terraform it a bit more. Remember brush size. So if I could terraform the land up to this point. Like that. We're then smoothing it all off. There we go. So literally smoothing all that off. So that feels a little bit more natural. Bring that in and down. Push that back a bit. There we go. It feels a little bit more natural. I've got to really sort out that curve and bend. So if that's more natural like that, we could then use this road, which will delete back to a certain extent again, because we want to bring this, and we'll bring it up to here, and then the other connection can come off there. So the bend happened like that. And then the industrial stuff for the farming, that's further down here, can then filter on into there and off it goes. Right, that could work a lot better, but what happened here with this? This is where we have to smoothen off that hillside a little bit more. I mean, an easy thing to do is to get this size here, and it'll kind of give us an idea of what we're working with. So it's a drop like that. Let's make the brush size bigger. So the drop goes down to there, and obviously we've got to smoothen that off. So we stagger it like that. So let's see what we can come up with now then. So it gets to that point fine. And there. Right. We know what we're working with at this point now. So the flattening tool, brush size down. Smoothing that off. Smoothing this down. Just add a tad bit there, which you can sort out. Right, there we go. A little bit smoother now, isn't it? Nice. Okay, we'll sort that connection out a little bit later. Let's just get this done, because this is now what I want to sort out more than anything. So we've got the big road coming down, and then these two roads here are going to lead in pretty much to our storage area. So we'll upgrade both of these roads. And we'll actually, you know what, we'll have this road running through also upgraded to carry that heavy traffic flow. That's ultimately going to bring us into this area. So then that can run along. It's pretty much going to be all storage. There we go. Keep running along. And then this can come out by one. Like that. So the storage is all on that big road, so we can handle the big traffic. And then we can have all the industrial buildings or the industrial area come off this. So we'll create a connection just there, which will have a centerpiece running up. And then have this one. Is that going too much into it again? Yeah, let's cancel that. Let's cancel this one too. So stick it up to there, which can run down. It's going to run down, it's going to be connected to this. Like that. So you basically coming in down here, picking everything up, running down to the storage, down to here and there, but if you're just cutting in to get the stuff in and out, you go. I'm trying to create these smooth little areas. Right, bends for days, please. There we go. So they're the main roads, and then we want roads coming off these. So we'll start with the storage ones first. So we'll have a road coming off into the hill slightly. We'll have one just there. We'll bring one up just here. which should be... Oh, we take another one here too. Okay, so we'll have one come just up here, which looks good. And we'll just kind of bend this up a bit. Or bring it up, sorry, not bend it. Now I could have this connected around as a ring too for the storage, and that seems fairly decent. Now here is what I need to kind of work on the most, because this is where the storage or the production's going to be. So we have like a big bulk of a building, and this, I should really first find out the size of these buildings before we place all this in. But this is what it's going to be pretty much like. So before we go any further, let's now add in some of this stuff. So we're going to start with, we've got large crop fields, we've got fruit fields as well, and we've got animal pastures. Let's go with the large crop fields to begin with, and we'll start these at fairly pretty much at the top. So again, you don't want to go too crazy with them. And I want to dot these around every so often to make it look like an actual farm area rather than, you know, for the sake of the game, if that makes sense. So farms passed along there, the large ones, which look pretty good. We're going for the large fruit farms, which these ones, I don't know if to do medium ones. No, we do large ones. So there we go. So just drop these down pretty much where we can. So how does that look then? So we've got some fruit ones down. So again, imagine flying over in a plane. It's starting to look somewhat like a farm, isn't it? We need some animal pastures now. So again, we go for the large ones, which these are a little bit chunkier than the other ones. Let's get up there. I'm really watching where I place down the entrances to them as well. Gotta be somewhat smart on it, haven't you? Alright, there we go. So a couple of animal pastures now drop down. And I think that's as far as we want to push it to begin with. We'll see how it progresses over time before we decide whether that is right or not. We could need more, we could need less. But let's now get the storage buildings in. So the storage for within the barns store crops, well, large silo grain, stores crops, can place outside the industrial area. Can place outside the industrial area, large silo grains. So it's really either the silos or the other stuff, isn't it? Or the large barns. So these can be placed outside as well, which is pretty good. So we'll have one there. There. So we'll do a couple at each end of each little area. So we get the silos around here. We'll do the barns on this side. Which should be fairly good. Not too many of those. Oh, we got a little patch here. I forgot about that patch there. There we go. Try and keep up the main routes. Looking good so far. Nice and spread out. And now it's time for the production buildings. So this is why I haven't done the majority of the roads for these, because I can't remember how big these are. We have the flour mill. We have the cattle shed. We have the milking parlour. And we have the slaughterhouse. So you only really want the flour mill out of all of this. For these ones. So let's place a couple of these down. And out of all these, you just only want the slaughterhouse because that's the only one that produces the meat from the animals. But it's a fairly big building. So if I try and bring this up. And that's there. How does that fit in the slaughterhouses? we can have one there and one there. But it kind of semi-raises them, doesn't it? That's not what I want. So if we start the road a little bit earlier. Like if I had the road to there and to there. That puts these slaughterhouses in perfect location then for us. So we can terraform that. We can sort that out and create a mountain behind it. That's all good. And then we'll create a road connection just coming off it. So that should be fine. And another slaughterhouse there and there. So they're quite close to this, but I'm hoping they'll might jump on the highway system. But we need some closer down here now, don't we? So let's bring this pretty much to here. And then we'll stagger this. So we'll have one there. One there. So in terms of the slaughterhouses now. Oh, not in the industry area. Oops, so there's it. There we go. So we've got one there. One there. And we might need a few more little flour mills. We've only got 4 of those in total. Let's just create a little road off there. And bring that down. So flour mill, flour mill, flour mill. Beautiful. So they'll come off here, they can bend round and then cut into there. That's all good. Then go in any direction they want. It's all connected up to a highway in some form or another. Let's sort out the softening of this area. There we go. Let's sort out these. So it's only a quick little touch up. And this farm looks quite big, but it's kind of like how we've done the oil industry. We spread it out, and I haven't gone too over the top, as you can see. There is so much more room to add stuff in. Let's just get this whole place kind of connected up then. So I'm just going to go around the outskirts with water. Not the best way to connect this up, but it's going to be the quickest way right now. And then we'll kind of simulate it for a bit and then see how well it progresses. I can see some vehicles coming out of it now. So we can just see them as traffic. Where do they go? So I might have to turn that road there into a one-way system to filter them out the opposite way. So I might make their journeys longer, but it could work. So they're coming down from there, which is perfectly fine to do. They disperse in many different areas. Ooh, okay, this is being used, so that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. So let's just get some windmills set up, wind turbines, as a way to, like, not only give power, but it's a more natural way to have these in this area. Alright, let's create a few up here. A few on this mountaintop. So I get a few little wind turbines in there. So not all of them have power. So let's see who's not connected via power now. So whoever's not connected via power is going to go straight up this connection, the old-fashioned way. So we can create a gap like that, running through. So that it's, even though it's going to be functional, it's very decorational. That's even the right word to say. I don't know if it is. Alright, connect these guys up. So that is what I'm pretty much using it for. So it kind of looks like it's meant to be a part of this. You see it in the farm areas and all that. Okay, so one thing I'm not happy about right now is literally the sheer amount of traffic coming down this road, entering. I would really want them to come from other places, but they're coming up this highway, aren't they? They're coming up here. So maybe you could treat this as the filter in road, like a one-way road, and they filter out this way. But we've really got to sort out how this is going to work over here. So let's get this done. Highway, so we go for the 2 laners then. Okay, K. So, take off the snapping grid there. We're going to create an inroad here. And if we can put the snapping back on. Or not. Another road just here. But we flip it. And then use the move it tool. Bringing them closer. Okay. So let's sort this out then. Let's sort this out. So the road is going to come off here and then be pushed up, and the road there is going to be squeezed in, right? Yes. So, oh, that's ugly. There we go. That's a little bit better. Right, so in you go. Bend you go. So let's sort these out then, because these are terrible connections. Maybe we do push these out a bit more. Or at least bring this one in a bit. How's it kind of looking? I'm not 100% sure on this. Because you're trying to satisfy 2 angles, 2 corners. I pushed that one further back, haven't I? Yeah. There we go. And then we need to filter this into 1. So that comes up to here. It needed to cross over. That's what it kind of needed to do, because we've kind of gone all funky. Yeah, 1 needed to cross over the other. Right, we'll do this one. I'm going to have to move it down a bit more now. Like that. And then this one, which is going to be higher. Is going to work like this. And in it goes, but we're going to create a bend on that. We're going to create a bend on this. And then start to play with the levels of it. I'm seeing farm vehicles come around. That's exactly what I want to see. So let's work on the height differences now, because this is ridiculous. Oh, that chomps into it so much. Oh, pressing the wrong button. So much. We might even have to, because this is so high, string it along a little bit further. So as that's up to there, to now get that connection to where we want it, bring it down a bit more to here. And it's probably more natural to do that. But it's so far away. Right. And let's get these bends just right. Right, that would work. It's not great, but I don't want to kind of add too much to it just yet, because I'm gonna be 100% redoing all of these anyway. We just now need to sort this out. So we need almost like a highway road coming off there and connecting in, and it's all down to then how they disperse, if that makes sense. Because we also need one to go that way and one to come in there, because that one's going to go there, that one's going to go there. So it's not a perfect connection in any way, shape or form. It's just added in now just to get the functionality there to make the vehicles want to use this area. Hopefully, he says. We shall see. We will see. But a lot of vehicles are over here anyway. We have a lot of backups, but this is all part of it now. This is trying to understand where we're going to be getting these issues arising. So everywhere's got power anyway. We don't have to worry about that anytime soon. So now we've got this connected up here. I wonder how that would change things. We've got stuff coming in. That'll lead us down to various spots. If I take off then traffic lights, take up traffic lights, take up traffic lights, take up traffic lights, take it off, all gone. What seems to be the issue over here then? Oh, there's traffic lights there. That's stopping them from filtering in. See, if we can at least get them moving, then it's all good. It's all good. So just give them time now to kind of get to their places, their destinations, their venues. But we've also seen a lot of vehicles coming out of that area. So what if I treated this as an you can only go in to this area? Or at least if you're going out, you've got to hit the highway. That would be interesting, because a lot of them, if they want to get to this export area or down to here, which they're probably going to be both going, they might just drive down here, get off and then drive this way. And if that is then the case, then that's when we have to change up some of our routes, if that makes sense. But it's a work in progress. Nothing is ever final, as you guys may have known from this series. It's always constantly changing. A lot of vehicles want to come into here, so this is where then you do stuff like this. You're going out that way, you're coming in that way. There's no way you can exit that way at all. This is that turn only, and that is straight over. So get your priorities, boy. So if they sort out their lanes, I mean, that backlog that was there, it's slowly going, it's slowly disappearing, it's slowly dying down. And yeah. That's probably not the best location for that one. So if I just move this to there, feels better. Yeah, it's got power. Feels better. Things are happening. Things are moving. Is there a stop sign there? I don't know why they were stopped for a second. No crossing. Go. And off they go, chugging along. So a lot of them are getting off here to do that left turn. They probably are. But these will eventually be going, so there will be no longer any use for them. But at least we're seeing them. Oh, look at this now. They're all filtering down here and off they go. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want them to do. We're just going to make the progress and the process a lot smoother. But that should work fine. So as it stands right now, we don't have any major traffic issues in this area. But only time will tell. As episodes progress, we'll add more to it every episode. Probably next episode anyway. When we come back, I would have done all these new junctions, sorted this out as well. Probably had an idea of where then I want the highway to go. But yeah, that is a shambles. I will be fixing that. It's a quick fix just to get it working. But off they go. Off they go, using the highway system to downtown. What traffic issues are lying over here then? Not that many. I need to sort that out too. It's functional, it does a job, it's not causing any issues, but I don't like it. Also, this cut through here is not great. I feel like we might need another cut through somewhere else. It's just understanding where they're going. That's what we gotta try and work out. But anyway, farming area is not complete. Again, work in progress, but it's in. It's back. And while we've got it in and its minimal form, we can understand how it works. That is all we care about right now. So guys, we're going to end it for here anyway. There's so much more stuff we need to do to expand on it, but it's been added back in, so that will now change how the city functions, because it's an extra set of traffic driving around the area. I will allow traffic vehicles to go back forward again anyway, but I just want to kind of see what happens. I really do. Do you know what I'll do? We'll undo this. There we go. Just to see, let's get rid of that. There. Just to see, guys, with the ability of that to go up there, where they're all going. Is it just for these two export areas? What's happening? Because a lot of vehicles need to get to the storage at the dock area because of the products that they need to store and sell. So we'll see. It's so spread out, and that's what hopefully we're benefiting from. And yeah, so Hamilton Estates, it's not making any profit just yet. It doesn't do much just yet because a lot of the stuff needs to be exported quite a long way away. But we're getting profit now, which is good. Right, sweet. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So good.